inspiration.
Yeah, Reuven, it's all yours.
I'll just start with a short little statement, quote, avot, that I read today, I heard today, I saw today, mentioned first. Motel Chazak, yeah, Mendel Wechter was repeating that he heard from Motel Kazlina that Tovshin Yud Aleph in Russia, when they heard that the Rebbe became Rebbe, Motel's father would go Achsidish Reed, Chazak. So I don't know him, but it says that he's a special Jew. So when they heard that the Rebbe became Rebbe, so he said like this, the Rebbe kann ich nicht. He doesn't know what to say. He never met the Rebbe, he doesn't know the Rebbe. Aber Reb Leivik habe ich ja gekannt. Für Reb Leivik passt Hob Mazuna Rebbe.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Now let me hear the materials when the ideas from the Reuven. A la Reb Leivik style. While you're thinking of something, I also
I sometimes think, people say when it's going to be Tchias Mason, in whose place, where you're going to hang out with. There'll be all these cool places. I think I'm going to be pretty much, I'm going to have a big calculator. I don't know what kind, but mir zieht sehr Reb Leivik.
Yes.
Honestly, I know one thing. Der Rebbe hat gesagt, jeder hat laufen zu sein Rebbe.
Yeah, but that's boy from Klali, but in the side room.
But Klal, Gem, I was going to say which brief it is. I just there was a Gem. I don't know how many years ago it was. Maybe it was just this year, etc. But they about a letter from with Leivik is giving his tguvot on something that the Rebbe sent to him. And the Rebbe, the Leivik is speaking of the entire of all of it, and then says aber es darf sein ein bisschen Salz und Pfeffer, ein bisschen mehr Kabbalah darf man reinbringen.
Das ist der Lashon. I know there's another letter which I remember seeing once that the Rebbe Leivik wrote to him, "Du was echt alles ist gut, no der best ist echt Zustand auf Kabbalah, wird es jemals sein rund keilig."
Yeah, so maybe it's. I wonder if it's because it was mashmas while the Rebbe was in Paris.
In Paris, yeah. He also tells another story that there was one for Pesach they were baking matzah and they took Maim Shalon and a clay matches. They didn't have anything else apparently. So then later on, it was a shaila to discussion to nish. Klimatris is a question. So I'm not sure if they sent him, Motel himself, or there was another 8-year-old boy to Reb Leivik, he went darauf, and they sent it to him to ask the question if the Maim Shalonu is valid. So the Rebbetzin apparently was resting or he was busy with something, and the Rebbetzin told him, "Asidorakim, the mit shaila." So he called him in, and he told him, "We will listen to the clay mattress is good for Maim Shalonu." This is an 8-year-old boy. So the Rebbe Leivik started explaining about a half hour al pi Kabbalah what's in Maim Shalonu. He's explaining this boy al pi Kabbalah what's in Maim Shalonu. The kid was nervous. He doesn't understand the word, and he won't know in the end what to come back. Is it good or not good? So he was focusing, trying to hear the end. At the end, Reb Leivik told him, "This is good, it's kosher." So Reb Leivik for a half hour, sein Indian in a different world, makes no difference who is listening.
Yeah.
And here you see, but here you see a gewaltige Indian. You see beim Rebbe, how the Rebbe had such a skafia to completely not shut that down, but not reveal that to the masses. The Rebbe can't reden like the Blevik. And then on jede Wort, an der Wies Seichel mit Kabbalah, mit alle Sachen. And the fact that the Rebbe says everything darf man verstehen for Ben Chamish Lemikre, and everything has to be this, is the Atzimtzum Atzim, like the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, a person takes a Seichel and he's megala it in one ois, right? One ois by the Eibishter. It's like, it's crazy, because I once had a yid, Taka, there's a yid over here in Los Angeles, as far as the big Talmud Chacham, and I learned Asach Kabbalah. So one time I mentioned something to him about Rebbe Leivik, he got so excited, and he tells me, "Oh, they make such a big deal about the Rebbe, but how can you compare?" He's not a chassid. Like, you can't compare to his father. He's like, "Wow!" That's what he says to me. So, you know, Rebbe is the Chiddush that the Rebbe did not speak that way. You know, no, the Rebbe that's als als a Klinken soll verstehen, als erupplegen.
A little bit of this you can see in the Rishimas.
Yeah.
The Rishimas, which a big part of some of the Rishimas, at least, they already had no Sforim with them. Right? Rebbe was running from one place to the other, right? And by Rebbe Leivik, which this is something, I mean, if you think about it, it's Pashat Mavilarayan. All the ha'oras that we have today from Rebbe Leivik, all of them he wrote, right? The whole Teres Levi Yitzchak, the Rebbe verbringt auf jeden Wort, right? All this was written in Almaty, in Kazakhstan, in Chile. Hunger was painful. The living was unbearable. The Rebbe said, just the mosquitoes. It was unbearable. And the place where he was, etc., and not can say for God, and schreibt, Kol Atere Kula is open to him.
Now, did he write it on a Zohar, or he wrote it separately? Did he write it at the Gilyonis on the, let's say, Biyunim on Zohar? Did he write it on the Zohar, or did he write these papers? Were they written on the side of a sefer? Did she bring Svarim for him when she went out, or not? That's what I'm asking.
You see, there's copies, there's pictures of it, I think I saw.
Oh, so it's written on the side of the Zohar.
Some of it is on the side. Some of it was written on paper of cigarettes.
Why am I saying that? Because, you know, it's one thing to, you know, if it was by memory, because he's medayik and in the shyness of Zohar over there, that if you don't have it in front of you, when I read it, I have to look back 6 times. 50, was medayik, dort steht der, in der Anheb Zohar steht der Zohar, was da sagt der Zohar, why does he end it? Ich bin sugar if I let him up there. What I'm saying, but okay, so I'm saying even with the sefer, it's a chiddush ein kamayu. But under those circumstances, you wanted a gematria.
Here you are, no? Here you are. Shkoya.
No.
Oh, Mandy, you're amazing.
You have it over there.
Mandy.
Yeah. Mandy's the producer of this broadcast. He's
Mandy
unbelievable.
He's amazing. And all this with the blue shirt, not even a white shirt.
This is officially a white shirt with blue stripes on it. That's just to be clear. And if I would have written that sefer, it would be amazing. I just found it.
Mandy, we don't want to connect you with the Kala Shekula Tchelis.
Shailis, the Divine Tchelis. Reuven, what were you saying? Something important.
No, I was just saying that Chof Av, Chof we always know is Keser. So you can read it, of Chof, the Tatef in the Keser. The Tatef in Keser Malchus. Von der was struck the crime.
I thought today, right?
No, take it a step further. Take it a step further. It says Chof Menachem, of von Chof Menachem.
Yeah, and to this, you look in the Kuntras, Chof Av, steht nicht Chof Menachem Av, steht Chof Av. The Mugadik Kuntras Chof Av. I just learned this morning in the Kuntim Chelik Dalet, right? Dat steht Chof Av. Und nicht Menachem Av. Und der Rebbe ist einmal medayik, darf das Av. And that state Kuntras Chof Av. It struck me this morning when I was looking and starting learning the Maimer. Weißt du, Burgsvares, der Rebbe will der medayik sein, dem Ingen Kibbut Av. Menachem Av takes away from that.
Yeah, you're saying it draws the tension away.
It draws to it. I don't know. It's just a thought which occurred to me this morning. But it dawned on me that I looked at it. Could Chof Av. Anyway, shame to this.
I have when I get hour avoida.
Yeah.
We should play what Mendy's saying. The Fabrengens, we're busy for 3 weeks just talking about Fabrengens. With the Fabrengens, we're just Derech Agav. We spoke that we need to get some more energy going over here. But we had 2 main programs that we were going to produce, and the Violet doesn't seem like we've gotten even to past the first or second pitch.
That's right. I wonder what's happening.
No, I don't think we kind of.
It's happening here.
What?
That's what's happening. You were supposed to talk to this professor, right? So get a name from the professor for an interview.
You're talking to me?
Yeah, from Boston or something. No, you said,
No, actually, I was thinking about somebody else. This guy from Boston, I have to try to track him down. But I was thinking about 2 other people. And last week, I had a separate week completely. I was traveling unexpectedly back and forth, etc. But I didn't get around to, actually, I slipped my mind to forward him the phone number of the guy to ask about. But there is a guy, and I think it's this could be very contemporary. And I think it would be very nice even to make this whole discussion about that you were going back and forth about a podcast. It should be part of the conversation, not part of the conversation, and make a podcast out of this. That you said it, right? And Sandy agreed, and I also agreed, but I just made a comment that has to be done professional. There is this guy in Etzisrol, and I mentioned his name, and I think that would be very interesting.
Avisha, you're talking about.
Avisha, yes. I think we can start with him. We can start with him, invite him once to be on, and prepare it in a proper way that it should be able to be made into a podcast. And he's an easy catch. He's available. He's ready to do it. So
I would say get the first guy that says yes. Doesn't matter what the guy's name is.
Okay, fine.
We're already looking about this about a year, no?
Yeah, Meret. That's
what I'm saying. The first guy that says yes, get him on.
That's hele dvarim shein lehem sof.
Why? I'm saying that's not to be such a... So who knows him? I don't know him. Do you know him?
I know him. I know him by communicating with him. I would say, yeah. I will reach out to him still now after the call. I will reach out to him and ask him if he's willing next week to get on the call. And I will ask Chaim to contact him how to make it look more professional.
That's it. We start. Let's do it over. I think it makes sense to start it with the Minatzchim. It gets people to come. It's 2 things. Mm-hmm.
But for this, we need somebody who's going to ask the questions.
Yeah.
We need somebody who's going to interview him and interview him properly, ask the questions properly. So this needs to be...
How's his English?
What? His English is good. He told me he manages. His English is good. I asked him a while back. He told me he's willing to do it in English. He even told me that he's willing even to prepare some questions to be asked. So
I would say to make a list of chevra like this, you can work on 5 people at the same time and have it just like the speakers, because just working on one person at a time, it's like, and then it falls through, and then you have to start all over again. No.
Let me just press play for 1 second
Let's bring
on Chaim's
on,
message. Can I just press play on Chaim's message 2 minutes?
Yes.
In other words, I'll explain. As Hashem, hopefully, Elul Tishri Cheshvan, meaning before Elul, we're going to have a beautiful flyer that we're paying this special designer to make this a special branding with a special flyer. And in order for that to really kick off, it's important that we have a strategy of, we can have 30 guys show up, or we can have 250 guys show up. It's a huge impact, right? If you're on the same Zoom with even 100 guys, 200 guys, right? So how do we do that? It's only if we actually have a plan. And the plan is that we're going to reach out to, from what we know, make categories of states with shluchim, and then we need to figure out who each state. So California, so if I know, there's a Rabbi A there, so okay, then we need to figure out, how to get to who's going to reach out to Rabbi A and take care of it. So we could either divide it by states, we could divide it, by people who knows what. So we can make an Excel sheet with states and people fill in, their names, what states they're taking. It could be discussed, So, if I know this guy, so I'll feel comfortable, reaching out to him. If I know that shliach, oh, he's my cousin, I'll ask him. We're just asking them to post our flyer in their group, and maybe to come, or even just to post a flyer. So that's the general gist. Either Mendy or Aaron, either one of you, if you could, 2:00 tomorrow, I'm going to be boarding a bus. I don't know how much internet I'm going to have. That's why if you could just make sure to bring it up. It's not going to happen automatically, and it's chabal. The flyer is can't be done any better. It's just about now the PR reaching out. Yeah.
But I fully agree with him that we have the PR is important, but the question is, what are we promoting? I don't think that we can promote just our Geschmacke verbringen. But I think if we're going out with a strong, powerful invitation, we have to.
No. He was talking about the three verbringens that we're going to have with 3 topics of 3 speakers. That's what he's talking about. Because I think Chaim was a little frustrated when we brought on. Rightfully so. When we brought out Rabbi Levine, tops that there was one moment that we had 30 people, I think, which was not bad based on what we usually have.
There were 32 chevra on at the most is the height of any moment, and there was 40 guys altogether.
And I think he was expecting more, that we're doing something, we should have 100 shluchim on, and we were not in those digits.
Look,
we're getting there. We're getting there.
No, but you know what? That's a false expectation.
Yeah, I thought it was too of a high expectation. I felt that going into it, that he was thinking that we were going to have a huge crowd, and then I was feeling it immediately that Chaim might have been frustrated at the end of the thing that we worked on this, we got this, and garnished, but not garnished, but it was not as successful.
But I think Faket, I was actually very heartened to see that, because the truth is, realistically, how early do we put out this flyer, and how much of a draw is this name? And so honestly, the cover that came because they were on that cusp of coming back to a Minatzchim meeting, which indicates to me that now now we have to start building up and have momentum, get somebody. Now, so my concern is like this. This Avishai, his name doesn't mean anything to anybody. Nobody's heard of him. But the question is if the topic could be interesting enough where somebody who otherwise everybody's busy, but if somebody says, you know what, this sounds interesting, is that going to happen? Is the topic going to be interesting enough to draw people? Because it's not going to be his name.
No, his name will not say anything. But if you can come up with a good line and present it as going to be a powerful interview with an expert on Middle East military issues, right? You got to present it in this way. Some are coming up with the right wording, and let's see. I don't know who can interview him. Can we have somebody from a strategic military background that could interview him? And do we know anybody?
Well, there's a couple of Chabadniks. What about Rabbi Estrin? His son is involved in Aleph.
I thought of it. Eli Estrin.
Is a uniformed member of the armed services.
Okay, right. So,
and he's a very geschmacked guy. He spent Shabbos by me. He verbringt with my community. Very geschmacked guy.
What is going to be his connection to that of Mashiach? Like, where's that going to go? What's he going to say?
His whole Nekuda is, he shows how all this is all a chelik from the process of the coming of Gula. That's his whole Nekuda. That's what he's doing.
He has a WhatsApp,
so maybe something like Tzivis Hashem and Sahal, or whatever it is.
It's not Tzivis Hashem.
No, Tzivis Hashem and Sahal also Tzivis Hashem. Like in other words, the other army heading to the Geula, or something along those lines.
Why do you have to mix the Tzivis Hashem?
I would make it less. I would make it less holy sounding.
Yeah, make it more exciting. People want to hear something exciting. Army, no, Stutzach, what?
Oh, that's what I say. Something
Security,
along the line,
Israel.
the other army marching to the Geula. Tzahal, the other army marching to the Geula.
I would go very, very direct. The Middle East conflict or something like this. Talk to it in very hard language.
Is Saudi Arabia actually going to join the Abraham Accords or something like that?
No, it has to have something about Mashiach. Otherwise, it just sounds political.
Okay, well, that's Mashiach. We're making peace over here in the Middle East.
That's a Mashiach. Okay.
What about
Mashiach.
behind the scenes miracles? Behind the scenes miracles.
Too holy.
The Rebbe says the Nissim are.
I think the first thing is to get someone to get him. Who's going to call him? After you can figure
Zusha's
out.
going to call him. He's coming on.
That's not
Zusha. Okay, that's Zusha. Okay.
I can't call Estin. I don't know him. I can call him, but there's no point for me to call him. Somebody who knows him.
No, let's just somebody reach out to Label to reach out to Label.
Ask Label to ask his son, or I can speak to him.
Okay, I'll reach out. I mean, right now there's no point.
So is he talking about how the army? He talking about how the army or what's occurring in geopolitics?
In geopolitics, everything. He has an explanation on everything that's happening there.
What does Saudi Arabia have to do with Mashiach?
It's not just Saudi Arabia. He's been looking at the events going on in the whole Middle East,
there.
And he's
China, Russia, Ukraine,
a,
Vietnam, the tsunamis. He has the whole world.
Yeah, and he can get that. You can have him on once a month. You can have him once a month. They'll give us an update. Why not? A 5-minute update. What's happening in the Middle East?
The Mashiach expert.
That's it.
Listen, Beis HaMikdash has to come there somehow, so he has to figure it out exactly who's gonna. We need everyone not to disturb. You know what I mean? So he needs everyone to be quiet. This guy has to be quiet. The
shaila is that, again, it's going to be about the title. The title has to be catchy. To put in something like Saudi, I didn't say that the only thing he's going to talk about is Saudi Arabia, but you put a word like that, which you don't expect to see on what's it called, what Saudi Arabia has to do with Mashiach and other topics.
Peace in the Middle East. He can't talk about that.
Unfortunately, that's been spoken about. That still sounds too generic. Okay. It has to be something that stops. If I'm and I see Zusha Zilberstein put up something about Saudi Arabia, I'm like, wait, what's this? It's going to be like some. It doesn't. I'm not. Ich bin nicht verkauft of Saudi Arabia. I'm saying, but it has to be. It has to say something that has you pause and say, wait a minute, what did I just read? And so, well, that sounds interesting.
How about something? World conflict and conflict or immediate war in Eretz Yisrael, something like this, and tie it in with Mashiach.
Maybe something starting with the events of the pays start because meaning relating to what was been going on in the last 3 years. This decade in geopolitics, I don't know, something like that, in through the lens of I don't know. It's almost like Mashiach shaking the world.
World conflicts through the lens of Mashiach.
Okay.
Recent, but it's not only conflict; it's recent world.
No, it's like what are we calling it? Simone Hageula Tafshin Pei edition.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. People want to know an update.
Right. Yeah, this is what he's talking about. This is exactly what he's going to tell us.
Maybe Taka say Simone Hageula of the Tafshin Pays.
Listen, guys, I had the Ruach HaKodesh from Tafshin Ayin Zayin till Tafshin Pei. After Tafshin Pei, my Ruach HaKodesh went away from me since Trump lost the election. Zav Demel sitzt Machte, and I don't know, they're Biden, I geht mir in the nerven, and ich will in the and he's going to take credit for Saudi Arabia, and I'd rather they don't make peace with Saudi Arabia if that cocket is going to be involved. That's what I feel.
Moving. Ein Schritte Schreide mit Tech Atzvus. Ein Schritte Schreide mit Tech Atzvus. You're allowing
So that's
Biden
it.
to verstop your Ruach HaKodesh.
Aye. Okay, that's what.
Oh,
Okay.
you can nagin, I'm a nagin. I'll sing for you.
I'm just curious, what's the weather like in California these days? How about instead of Simone HaGeula, the process of Geula in Tafshin Pei? Because the Rebbe says these are not Simonim. The Rebbe says all this is part of the process. All this is all Mashiach tut in the world. So it's not Simonim. We have to be careful with terminology. They change the whole thing. But the process of Geula in Tafshin Pei.
But it doesn't. It's not. I don't know. I'm not.
It's
excited
not so
about
catchy.
that
He's right. He's right. It's not so catchy.
No, but then make a subtitle. Then make a strong subtitle with a few of the events.
It has to be the other way around. You can put that as the subtitle.
By the way,
The
you can
title
ask
has to
him.
be
He's
catchy.
very. Hold on. You can ask him what to put on. He puts on.
Listen,
He puts on. He's very good. He puts on a what's up.
1 second, Heather.
I think he would do a good job.
Carry on. But just
I'm saying, ask him himself what to put on. He would put on a very good. He knows what's going on.
You know what? I can ask him. I wouldn't reach out to him now because I'm sure he's by the Koisel for the Sima Sefer Torah, which I don't know if you guys saw the picture. It's impressive. Go on to anyone.
It's live. It's a big crowd.
Huge crowd. Thousands and thousands of people. The whole what is called the whole
plaza.
The whole plaza all over is Kanei Nahara. It is a huge crowd, a real big hacker. So I'm gonna reach out to him tomorrow morning. Late at night by me, what's tomorrow morning by him, and I'll ask him I can ask him. Does he have a catchy title? And gave it him in Lashon Kodesh. We'll translate it in English if need be. And you reach out to Estrin's label son, okay? And I will actually ask him to send me a few questions. But we have to ask Chaim. Chaim should work on it to make it look professional. What kind of background, what kind of thing? Because if you want to use this as a podcast,
the lighting is very important. Like
lighting,
yeah, very important.
Best thing is probably a green screen. Then you can add any background to it.
Yeah, you can have pictures of tanks and things,
Or anything, yeah. Then you can play with it.
I heard you could even put in front of 770.
770.
By
using the green screen or blue screen? What do you
You know what you're missing over there? Picture of 7. I mean,
did you see in the front of 770 they put new flowers?
What's this on the competition? People should have what to trample on. What is this?
Kavatschwuz.
The Kavatschwuz. Okay. Smitamol flowers. It's very nice, but what's Smitamol?
So muss sein. You have to find something Kabbalah. So muss sein There has to be a connection there.
I'm sure there is.
What's the guy's name again?
What's the guy's name?
No, I'm saying the person you're.
Lately, he stopped sending. I don't know what happened.
I get it.
Avishai Fargan.
Avishai.
What's the guy from Eretz Yisrael? What's his name?
So why can't a lot of times what he does is.
Let me answer you. Avishai Ifergan.
Yeah.
He actually has a WhatsApp. He'll be more than happy joining his WhatsApp. He has in Hebrew and in English lately.
Oh wow!
I
saw his WhatsApp a few times. He writes a behind-the-scenes military analysis.
Yes.
Of miracles that happen, things that no one else. I don't know. Obviously, he has access to some behind-the-scenes information. He writes. He signs off that he was where he was in Sahal bim simot miyuchadot or something like that. With it doesn't say what, like special. Obviously, he was in special forces or something like that. So he has access to some information that most people don't have.
I also did Mesimot Miachadot with the Tzahal. I brought them cake and donuts on Hanukkah.
Can you post his what I call? I think I got kicked. Whatever, not kicked up. I lost his thing. He keeps on sending. When was the last time you got a thing of him?
I think
maybe something along the lines of Mashiach on the front page.
On the front line,
and something like Israeli political and military experts on how all events point unerringly towards Mashiach. All global events point unerringly towards Mashiach.
I'm gonna have to excuse myself. I have to get off. But
Can you
whenever
post his
title, I'll speak to him. Okay. I'm sorry.
Can you post his number again, Bzusha? Can you post his number again? Actually, I lost his number.
His number?
Yeah. I want to go back on his WhatsApp. I didn't see it for a long time.
Okay, I'll do it a little later.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we have to update the list. We have to still do what Chaim asked us. Mendy, can we let's get a file up? Huh?
How do we do it? He sent it to the Minatzchim, right?
Do it by state. We need basically a representative in every state to post.
Ari Lang says that Michal Harari is also active military. Anybody know who that is?
I don't know who he is, but great.
So I'm looking for that list.
The list, maybe put it on the VOD list. It wasn't on the VOD list? Maybe it was on the VOD post.
I'm checking now. A very long list, right? Here it is. Shai Liz, what do we do with this?
So make
Look,
make a file, open up a file. Yeah, open up a file. We have to
look list locations and names. Who put it together? He did?
I think with Shas Mice, everyone was adding to the list. People will give me names.
And Isaac, I think you also made it to the next part.
Yeah. So make it official. I'm gonna open
So what's the best way? Because this is not easy. You can't work with something inside a chat. You have to put it someplace else.
No, open a file.
Google Ezra file. Also knows Michal. So I'll put it in I think I started something. I could put it in a file on the Minatzchim's Google Docs. How's that?
Yeah.
And then everybody can
chime in.
Yeah, can add to it. But I think he's right about one nakuda, that even if you have a good program, if everyone's not on board, if it's someone else's achrayus, it's not your achrayus, so then it could miss, 5-10 cities won't get invited. Versus if they are invited, then they come on. Last time I invited a lot of people, and I saw a lot of the people I invited were on. A high percentage of them were people I invited. So I know it works. And some of them told me they can't. But even if they tell me they can't get on, it's like, it's way different. It's in their consciousness, like, okay, I'm not able to get on, but there's something I'm not able to get onto. I know it sounds funny, they're not on, but still, it's nothing.
No, and I'll get on next time. A few people told me, oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I really wanted to, but next time I'll make sure to get on. So,
yeah. So, I gave Chaim the drive information. So I have a thing here called, can you see this part screen? No, I don't think so. Just stop the share and reshare it. You see this? This is the Minatzchim inside, behind, in the drive. So there's a talent list. It was a list of Minatzchim, the Chevra who we spoke about this, what each of our ability is.
What exactly is that?
Chaim wanted to know, like, we have guys on board. He's not doing it himself. He's working with us. So how do I?
No, I'm talking about what is, okay, not to discuss while the recording's going on. Trying to figure out what steht bleiben Sendergeisens over there. So that's,
Isaac, can you click on the link I sent you? Are you on a computer on Isaac?
Yeah, what do you need?
Okay, click on the link I sent you in the chat.
Okay.
Tell me if it opens.
Yeah.
Okay, go to sheet number 2.
1 minute. Okay. Sheet number 2. I don't see
on the bottom. Share your screen. Share your screen with us so we could see.
Okay, I got a second sheet. Yeah.
Okay, on the bottom, share your screen. Come back to the Zoom and share your screen.
אני אדבר בעלי, כי אני לא חושבת שאנחנו צריכות 4 בנות ביחד, ועכשיו יתנו...
That would be under whiteboards.
Nope, nope. In the middle, it says
Oh,
share screen.
It's right there.
And pick the right screen, the one that's open.
Which one? Okay, I only see it in small. Hold on a minute.
כן, אני חושבת שלא רק כיצד אני נביא, אבל גם כאילו ככה הם מצאו.
No, post attendees, Zoom, and one more. Now, that's not the way you talk. Looking at it,
What are we trying to do here?
And Isaac is about to make something happen for real. What does it?
1 minute. It's not in.
No, there's not this window. It's a different one. Anyway, you have to share the right.
How do I get back?
Anyway, so what's the Nakuda? What are we doing here? What do you want to do, Isaac? What does Chaim want?
Go through the states. He needs to have representatives in every state.
Okay, so how does one do that? Arizona, Australia. These are not states. I'm pretty sure Australia is not a state.
But it's fine. Not everything has a state, but fine. Melbourne and Sydney, I guess. There could be regions also.
Yeah.
Right. It's a little bit all over the place, but how do you?
You know what? Go through. You know what? Go through. I'll tell you. Go through if you have the list of the Minatzchim, we can maybe figure out who's where.
Yeah, I don't think this should be on the recording because